All right, here we go. We're going to do this. This is our first solid review 4, and we're going to get started here with the instructions. First thing we're going to do is start a new sketch, and we're going to be on the top plane, and the units are going to be set to inches. Let's go back to Onshape. Create document. It's going to be review 4. Put your name in it. Right away, I'm going to change the units to inches. Accept that. And then I'm going to select the top plane and start a sketch. I'm going to view from the top, and I'm going to press the P key to hide the planes. Right now we're ready to follow the instructions here. We're going to make a rectangle, and the upper right hand corner coincides with the point of origin. Grab the rectangle tool, click here to start, drag away this way, and click to make a rectangle. We need a diagonal line from the midpoint of the side to the midpoint of the bottom line. So we're going to scroll over until we see the midpoint, click there. Same thing at the bottom, find the midpoint, click there. Escape. Now we're going to dimension this, so we've got a 5 by 3. So this is 5, enter. This is 3, enter. Now we're going to make our first solid. We're going to select the Extrude feature, which is this button here. Look for the Extrude button. Actually, you're supposed to click the check mark. Click on the Extrude. I'm going to orbit, so I can view it from this angle here-ish. And I'm going to extrude a solid. It's going to be a new solid. In the instruction that said blind, and the depth is 1.25 inches. As soon as I click on this, it's going to extrude it by a default of 1 inch and in a particular direction. It just happens to be this is the way I want it to go, towards the top. If you need to, you can reverse and go the opposite direction by clicking on the arrow. Mine was going the right direction the first time. Click that arrow again to reverse it, and I want to change the depth to 1.25, enter, and then click the check mark. And notice we have now our first part. We've created anything that is 3-dimensional is going to be listed as a part. We also have an extrude that in the chain of events is after the sketch. Now we're going to select the back face of the part to begin a second sketch. So we can choose a face to be a plane to draw on. In AutoCAD, that would be like changing the UCS, or view from the back. And we're going to start a sketch. It's asking me which plane. I'm going to choose this face as the plane. And then I'm going to actually view it from the front. I don't think it matters which way. Actually, it does. So in the drawing, it doesn't say that, but the next step is obviously viewing from the front, not the back. So I can see this difference here. Or orbit, so I can see it from the front. Click on front. Now I'm going to draw this shape. And the only thing it says is be sure to include a horizontal line that is coincident to the top edge of the part. So this top edge, horizontal line. So let's go ahead and start with that one. I'm going to draw a line coincident with this top edge. Then let me just get an idea of the shape here. This one's horizontal and in line with this one. So I'm going to just go ahead, reference that line, make sure it's both vertical and horizontal, and then click down here. Next step. We need this construction line from this corner all the way to the other side, and then from the midpoint of the upper line down to meet that. Now to grab construction, I can use the shortcut of Q, or I can click on this button here, construction. Go from this corner over to this side. Make sure that it's perpendicular. Then again, line tool, Q, and the midpoint down to meet this line here. Now I need to draw a circle. Where these two lines intersect. And my dimensions are off, but we're going to dimension this later. So I'm going to assume all of these constraints are correct on my drawing. If you want to take the time to figure that out, you could show all constraints, and they should match up with this drawing here. Now I'm going to add the measurements. So I have 2.5 and 4. Start with those. So from this point to this point is 2.5. Then from this point to this point is 4. Then the circle is a diameter of 1.25. Then we have an angle here. So to reference an angle, you reference the top line and then a point on this line and then drag away. So I need the angle. So I'm going to click on the top line, click somewhere on this angled line, and then drag up to place my angle. And I don't remember what it is. 30. All right, now everything is locked in place. All the lines are black, which is good. So now we want to check the check mark to accept the sketch. Extrude the sketch profile towards the front of the part at a depth of 1 inch. Be sure the add option is chosen and the part is selected in the merge scope. Accept the feature. All right. So I'm going to view slightly from the side here, and I want to extrude. Go ahead and grab this area, and already there's an issue. It's going in the wrong direction. So you need to click on the arrow to reverse the direction. Now it's set at 1 inch, which is correct. But I don't want to make a new solid. I want to add to the existing solid. So I'm going to click on add, and I'm adding it to part number 1, which is here in the merge scope. So everything is correct. I'm going to press the check mark. So I only have one part listed, even though it was made of 2 different sketches and 2 extrusions. So if you're following along in these courses and you want to complete the quiz, it's going to ask you what the volume is. So you have to click on the mass properties. So I'm going to select the part and then go down to where it has a little symbol of a scale. Click that to display the properties. And we're looking for the volume. So you basically memorize that number for the quiz. It's just a 1-question quiz. All right, we're done.